I feel like this is bigger than YouTube, bigger than just a random car channel, so I thought I would talk to you. In the coming months, we all have a decision that needs to be made. There are two parties, and depending on how you feel, you might be strongly opposed to one or the other. Both of them have great points. Both of them, I can understand people seeing the logic on each side.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in, eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
I don't know what's wrong with you young people. You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
But you are going to have to make a decision at some point. On one hand, on the left, people love imports. There's nothing wrong with tuners, imports, everything, just new school, new way of doing things. A lot of modern technology. On the right hand, we have old school muscle cars, gas engines, just kind of an old way of doing it. Some say a better way, but not necessarily up to modern times. And me personally, I would like to go on record to say, kiss my ass to both of those, because I put a 500 horsepower Chevy V8 in a tiny little import Honda CRX. This thing is a freaking rocket ship. It's the most fun ever. Let's quit goofing around and get to work. I haven't wore a tie in freaking forever. This shirt is way too small. I think my wife probably left it in the dryer for way too long. It's definitely not that I'm a fat ass in the last year that I wore this thing. She's been leaving stuff in the dryer for, 2 or 3 months straight, so it's probably her fault. Back on the beautiful V8 swapped Honda CRX. I have been sick for like 2 weeks. I'm still not 100%, but I cannot be in my house anymore. I'm starting to legit lose my mind. You can kind of hear it in my voice. It's a little bit deeper, a little bit more raspy. Usually I have a high-pitched girl voice or Pat Mahomes, however you want to say it.
It's something that I've kind of embraced.
But we're back in here because I cannot be in the house anymore. We're going to start working on the interior. If you aren't familiar with this build, I obviously put a V8 in it and converted it to rear-wheel drive. We also bagged it so she lays on the ground. So my interior is a lot different than a stock CRX, but I do want to run a stock dash. And as you can see, we have a lot of cutting that's done in there. I still need to do some sheet metal work over the distributor, but I don't know where to put the metal yet until I get the dash in. Once the dash is in, I can kind of figure out how I can fill that in. I obviously can't go back the way it was stock because the distributor's right there, but we can kind of get it close, I think. So that's the goal. I got an SI dash out of I think it was a CRX or a Civic, I don't remember. And my stock dash was just ruined, so I needed to get one. I got some new dash brackets off eBay that just showed up. I got those thrown in earlier today, and I'm really excited to get this thing in. My dash was ruined, so I needed to get one anyway, so we kind of upgraded to a little bit newer style, a little bit nicer, but it is CRX Civic, so it should still go in there. I also took my trans tunnel out. I actually had a transmission hump already made, but it doesn't fit at all with the Honda center column. And I want to try and use, or the center console, I want to try and use that if possible, or make one. So I had to get that out of there. So we're also going to have to remake that. And I think I have to take my steering column out, but I might be able to just remove the steering wheel. I'm not sure. I can't remember the last time I had a dash in this, but I remember it does not fit very good. That roll bar under the firewall makes it a little bit tricky, but I don't know. Let's figure it out. Let's see what we can do. All right, great news. My dash mounts work, and they're perfect, and they're where they need to be. I wasn't sure, we're changing some parts out. Also, there's a lot of adjustment on them, so I thought I was gonna have to retighten them. They're good. My dash fits a lot better than I thought, and I don't have a ton of room for sheet metal up there, but I have more than expected. So I should be able to make that piece pretty easy. Also, The shifter has stayed long enough. It's time to take it out. This shifter upsets so many people. It's the funnest thing I've ever done. The whole reason I got this giant shifter is because for some reason, this is like a $300 kit. This kit with the long shifter was 60 bucks less. I don't know if because it was low on stock or something. I have no idea why, but it was $60 cheaper than a shifter that was only, 8 inches tall. So I figured I'd just buy the long one for now, cut it down whenever I needed to, and then the comments started. I got hundreds of guys so pissed at this shifter. They're like, make the shifter longer. You're gonna have to go through the roof. And just guys who are angry as hell. So I've left it longer than I was going to. We are gonna cut it down this video, but I almost want to make it longer just to piss people off, because if you watch this channel at all, we do like to troll, but this was never the plan. It's too tall to even get out. So we're gonna cut this baby down as well. Let's get this out of here. Maybe, yeah, there we go. And I got the dash unbolted, so it should come off. Yes. I'm gonna bolt up my center console out of the car because I'm having a hard time getting it bolted in with it in the car. And then there's a giant spider. Oh shit. And then we'll start on the sheet metal work. Thank God it ain't heavy because it's awkward as hell. Okay, I got the center console bolted to the dash. I see why I could not do that before. Everything bolts in from the back, and basically there's no room to do it. So I got it all cut up because we're going to end up making the bottom part, but I did want the top part to attach to the dash. That way whenever we weld our center console in, it'll be attached to the dash and solid. I also got the inside of the firewall buttoned up. Unfortunately, I ran out of argon. For MIG welding, you use an argon mix. For TIG welding, you use straight argon. And you can weld with straight argon with MIG welding. It's just not great. They're real ugly and shitty, but they're going to work for now. I have one more piece that's going to go across here to finish up the firewall, and then also that's where my windshield will sit. Whenever I cut this windshield to mess with the EFI system, people couldn't believe I would cut a windshield just for that stupid reason. It was already broke. This windshield has been broke for a year when I bought the car, so wasn't worried about it. But whenever this piece is in here, we'll actually be able to put the new windshield in. So I want that welded nice, and then I'm going to grind the welds flush because there's going to be glass sitting there. So I do not want to do that with the straight argon mix, so I'm going to run and go get some mixed argon. That way we can get it all welded up. I got a lot of stuff done today. I still feel like I'm moving like at half speed, but hey, at least we're in the shop getting stuff done, and I'm not laying in bed anymore. So yeah, we're going to go get some argon, and then we'll be back to hit it again. All right, cool. Now we have to grind for the next hour. But she's in! It looks good from the front, too. That's what I was worried about the most. Obviously, there will be a windshield there, but you'll still see the front lip. Sweet! Let's grind some shit. Firewall is done. We got our little piece in. The dash actually will kind of go over that a little bit at the edge in the back, but the front is perfect. Plenty of clearance for the distributor. Very happy. I had to get that ground way, way down since there's going to be a windshield there. You obviously can't have any weld or it will just break. So That took way longer than it should. I don't know if it's because I'm still moving at half speed from being sick or it's just a pain in the ass. Probably a little bit of both. So what I'm going to do now is... Oh, shit. I forgot to grind those welds. Well, we got to grind these welds, these tacks, and, well, shit. I forgot all about this until I got the camera out. I'm probably going to weld this a little bit better, then grind the rest of the welds now that we actually have the right argon here. And then we're going to put the sound deadening on there and then get the dash back in. If I can get the firewall all done with the sound deadening on it and have the dash back in there tonight, I will be extremely happy. But I did forget that I had to do some more welding. Shit! All right, let's weld some shit. Somebody commented on the last video where I put the sound deadening in that all of the little indentations, I thought they were for, you know, lining up whenever you're cutting. It's easy to know where to cut. Somebody said those are guides on how hard you should push whenever you are applying it. Those should go away. And I was a little skeptical because I've never heard that. I've used this stuff 100 times. Well, it was in my mind because he said it. I wanted to try it, and you basically can't even push it hard enough to get rid of all of those. So that is very much not true. I mean, yeah, I can't even... I push that way harder than you would ever need to, and I can't get rid of them. Yeah, there's no way. They're still there. So maybe that's a different product he's talking about. But yeah, you can't even... Yeah, you just need to roll it on there so it's stuck. You don't have to mash it down. Okay. All right. I was going to go ahead and do all the way across here, but I want to make sure the dash fits in okay. Also, this isn't... There's not much heat up here. Obviously, down in here is where the heat is. So we should be okay, but... I don't know, if I decide to later, I have plenty of mat left. We still have to do behind the gas tank at some point, but I don't know if we're going to get into that this video or not. So, let's get our dash installed. Hopefully it goes in there with the center console bolted up and I don't have to take it all apart. That would suck, but let's see what happens. Dash is in. All of our sheet metal clears, which is huge. And luckily, I cut this perfect basically. So what I want to do is obviously have a trans tunnel go across, and then we're going to tie it into this. We're going to have to make it removable though so we can get the dash out. So it's going to be a little tricky, but I think it'll be a lot nicer having that flow into the dash, look more like an actual car. Sweet. This is a good day. Check out how good this came out. Perfect. You won't see any of that whenever the glass is in there because we'll end up having glue go across the top of that. But, sweet. She is fully sealed up from the firewall, which is very, very nice. And the dash is in there looking pretty. We got a lot of work to do, obviously. I was talking about how I want to tie the center console into the transmission mount we're going to make. It's going to be a little tricky, but I really want it to look like a car. It's a race car. It's not going to be like a Cadillac by any means, but I do want it to be kind of an actual car. I also got door panels, 3 different sets. We're going to take a couple different sets and basically make one good set. I'm going to try and get those in tomorrow too, but obviously we got a lot of sheet metal work we need to do on the trans tunnel. Oh, it makes me so happy having a dash in this thing. Sick! All right, we got sheet metal cut. I'm going to do the transmission tunnel first. Then I can build the center console down into the transmission tunnel. I found a couple pieces of round bar. I like to make kind of like a rough form out of round bar, and then I can cut the sheet metal to fit that. These apparently have been in the shop for a very long time because they were extremely rusty. It took like 15 minutes just to get them cleaned up, but that's all right. They'll work. Got some 1/4-inch round bar that we will use, but we got to fab up a transmission tunnel first, and it's not the easiest or the funnest, and it has to be removable the way this body mounts. It's kind of funky, but I need to be able to take it off whenever I pull the body off. So, yeah. Let's solve some problems, and then cut some shit and weld some shit. All right, now, I don't call out other YouTubers. You know, it's bad for business, obviously. You don't want drama between channels. But there's a guy, I called him a buddy at one time, named Crucible Coachworks. He's a really good metal worker. Well, I thought he was. The other day, I saw him bending up like a transmission tunnel like we're making right now. This guy didn't even use a random basketball pole that doesn't have a basketball hoop on it anymore. He's like using metalworking tools and shit. You gotta watch out who you're watching these days, guys. There's some hacks out there. You want to be a professional, find an old shitty pole that doesn't have a basketball hoop on anymore. Also, these wheels are way too close. I'm going to make these pieces out of cardboard and then cut them out of sheet metal. Then we're going to recess our screen that we have for everything. Let's go! All right, I got my 1/8-inch rods. I said these were 1/4-inch rods earlier. They are not. They are much smaller than that. Oh, my Band-Aid's coming off. That's going to hurt. Ooh, take all the hair with you. Damn. Anyways, I got my 1/8-inch rods put from the Honda center console down to the transmission tunnel. Everything is there looking good. And I got my front face of the center console fabbed up. As you can see, I already got it marked out for our handheld screen. This is basically your main computer on an Aces setup. I can monitor everything on this. Fuel, oil, I mean, anything you want, you can have a gauge set up on this, so I love it. This is a brand new engine, so I do want to monitor as much as possible. So we're still going to be running this, obviously. We're just going to change our EFI kit a little bit. going to go with the lower profile one, but we are going to be putting I think they call it a kill shot. It is an EFI carburetor setup, essentially. So we can just change that out. We don't have to change out the whole intake. But what I want to do, I could just bolt that on there. That would be easy, simple, neat, but, you know, I don't like easy. So I am going to cut this out and recess it so that basically the screen will sit flush. It might stick out a little bit, but if it sticks out, it's going to stick out like a 1/4 inch. It's not going to stick out the full 2 inches that this thing is. And then everything can be hidden back there. And I think it's going to be easier to cut this out now while I have it out of the car. And then we can get it put in there and we'll get our sides filled in. So, how am I going to cut this? I don't know, we're going to figure it out. Let's cut some shit. This was actually a lot trickier than I thought it was going to be. Check it out! It was hard to get it centered, and then whenever I went to weld the tabs on the back, it would jump around. Sweet, I like that a lot. Perfect. Let's go get started on the center console. Okay. I'm going to grind these down real quick. We are done. Damn it, that looks great. Also, in case anybody's freaking out that I'm welding around it, it has a protective cover on it right now, so I'm not worried about it. Sweet! Wow! Did these take a different cup holder, maybe? Oh, these things are falling apart. Alright, we definitely got some work to do with these guys. But they're in for now. Check it out! Got the door panels on. We need to do some work to them or find new ones. Here's the thing. I went out to CRX Farm. If you didn't see that video, go check it out. The guy has like 60 Honda CRXs and Civics. Holy shit. This is only half of them. I bought the best two he had, and they are not much better than this. They're over there. I actually have 3 sets of these. They're just crazy expensive, and I've seen there was a really good set I wanted on eBay. They went for like 650 bucks. I was like, man, I don't know. And then I think shipping was like another 70. I was like, dude, I don't know if I want them that bad. But kind of see the picture. She's looking good. All right, let's cut the shifter down and call this a video. I am dragging ass, and I'm naturally running very late, and Richard's already whining. Meh, 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 meh. Donuts, cops, blah, blah, blah. All right, let's cut some shit. Check her out! I like it. Wait. There we go. Still a little tall, but I kind of like them taller. Not 3 foot, but I like them kind of, 18 inches. Pause. Let's go install it. Check it out. Shifter is in. Did my kill mat on the transmission tunnel. I am extremely happy with how this came out. I just broke that. I'm extremely happy with how this came out. Obviously, it's still a Honda CRX, but we just have changed so much that even just bolting a dash in was a whole thing. And then center console wasn't going to work. Had to make one. I love that. That's going to be so cool whenever it's running. We'll have all the gauges and everything right there. So, couldn't be happier. And the shifter's cut down. So, she's not, above the steering wheel now and almost touching the roof. I love it. I'm very, very happy. I didn't know how it was going to turn out. I didn't know if we were even going to be able to use the center console. I wanted to. I just didn't know if it was going to work out, but man. Sweet! So incredibly happy with how this came out. If you've watched all these videos, there for the longest time, I just thought I was going to have to make a dash. Make like a race car dash, which is fine. I've done them before. They're not the best looking, and I still want this thing to look like a Honda CRX. I've used the term sleeper. It's not really a sleeper because you're going to hear it coming from a block away, but I like the way a CRX looks. I think they're cool as shit, so I want to kind of keep that feel. And I mean, that is very much a Honda CRX dash with some flair in it, and I just very, very happy. I tried to fit this dash a couple different times, wasn't working. We had to redo the roll bars in there to try and make it work. Even then, didn't think I was going to be able to get it in with like the stock dash mounts. I barely even had to modify those, just had to do a little bit of grinding. Ended up working out great, and I am extremely happy. So, let me know what you want to do. I'm still not 100%. Still kind of working through some shit, but boy, I tell you what, a lot better. The first day I came in here, I was here for like 30 minutes and I went home and went to bed. Like I was just moving stuff around. I got tired. Today is day 3 or 4 of being back, and I'm not 100%, but boy, we're definitely back in the groove, getting excited, starting to want to get going on some stuff. Now, I ordered a wide body kit for this. If you haven't seen that, I talked about it in the last video. They actually sent me a video earlier today of getting the parts done. We're going to insert that right now. Now, they aren't even shipping that out. They're in Taiwan. They're not shipping that out till next week, so I'm still going to be, 3 weeks at the earliest probably that I'm going to get that. I still have plenty of stuff that needs done on this, but I want to know what you guys want to see. Do you want me to stay on the CRX for the next video, or should we go work on the 63 Corvette? I got plenty of stuff to do down there. I ordered a couple $1,000s worth of parts, and all that stuff has came in, so we got a lot of stuff we can get going on that as well. But let me know. There's still obviously all kinds of stuff that needs done on this. I want to finish out the exhaust. Right now my header's dump at about the fenders. I actually want to get those out back as much as I can. So yeah. Also, we might need to figure out what we're going to do with door panels. I don't want to spend $700 or $800 on door panels. So we might end up doing some fiberglass stuff and just making those work. I don't know. Boy, it'd be nice to just have a good pair, because I haven't done anything with the doors. The doors are still stock. So a nice door panel would just click right in. Hey, if you have a Honda CRX door panel, shoot me an email, Caseyscustoms@yahoo. We can do some talking. If you want to do some trading, whatever, I'm down. But yeah. So happy to be back. God dang, that interior looks so good. For the coolest merchandise on the planet, go to Caseyscustoms.com. Thank you very much for watching. Please hit that subscribe button. Make sure you like, share, and comment under this video. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Peace. I love you.